you go drinking out of old containers that have been sitting there, there's backwash from your mouth. You'll have bacteria in there.
Good.
You never do that? You get in a car you haven't driven in a week or so, and there's a bottle of water or something, you drink it, and all of a sudden you get a sore throat like halfway through the day? It's because you've contaminated yourself.
I don't believe any of that.
You don't believe any of that?
None of it. None of it.
You know how I don't ever get sick, right? Like, never, ever get sick, right? You know what it is?
You don't expose yourself to the outside world? Because you're stuck in the submarine with no
it's
windows?
'cause I don't drink fucking... Because I throw dirty-ass half fucking bottles
I don't
away.
believe you one bit. I guarantee you that there's been a bottle that you have on your table that you were like... You're like,
I make a conscious effort.
Those aren't floating that bad, and you're like, drinking
That's
it.
the aminos. I make a conscious effort to clean or throw away. Like, if they even look a little dingy, I throw them away, and I go get a different one.
That's why I only drink triple filter.
We need more light in here.
No, we don't.
You couldn't even grow plants in here. Like, if we had to hold up in the underground, I realize this is just one of the stock rooms in the bunker, but...
We have another light. It's just not hooked up. I don't know why. Is it not? Is there a... I guess
we're running off this little fucking 20-watt incandescent. We should. That's what should happen. We should make this move the whole time.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
The whole time we're doing a video. Okay.
It should be moving.
Podcast episode 5. What's today? Monday, New Year's Eve.
Yes, January 31st.
Let's see. It is 12:29 p.m.
January 31st.
We just had breakfast. We're gonna do episode 5 of the podcast. We had 8 pages of questions from the last one, and
we didn't get through it all.
We only got through 2 of them. We have 6
what, 2
pages.
pages? What?
Yeah,
come on, that's crazy.
So, a couple of emails I had. I'll go ahead and read. Hello, I ordered an SOE. I ordered from SOE before and happily returning the last order I placed. I contacted SOE and advised that I'm ordering from an APO address. I received the order very swiftly, and I'm surprised with the speed. I was hoping could facilitate... Oh, that's not what this is. I understand Christmas rush. We already fucking ordered this. We already shipped triple canopy. That dude's gone. That order's already out the door.
Triple canopy.
Blood monkey. What's his fucking name? Jeremy says, what the fuck is this one? Oh, he just placed an order. I don't even know what his order's for. This is highly disorganized. We should probably cut the whole front of this off. Oh, I asked my wife to order a belt from SOE for Christmas. I told her it's likely would take some time and wouldn't be here in time. I also explained to her she could not inquire about the order timeline and would ship when it was ready. She ordered the belt last Saturday, so I probably didn't receive it until Monday morning. So you probably didn't receive it till Monday morning. By Tuesday, I received an email letting us know our box of American-built badassery was on its way. That's a one-day turnaround. How dare you? So I wanted to take the time to thank you and your crew for the speedy service. Thank you. And I just said, right on, man, we try. It doesn't always happen. It doesn't happen that way all the time, but it's what we aim for. You hear the others. You hear the other end because the guys that feel wronged squeal the loudest and we skyline them. The reality is, the last 18 months, 80% of our orders have shipped the same next day. He said, thank you for taking the time personally to respond. That says a lot. I'll do what I can to recommend your gear. Have a Merry Christmas. So, those have just been sitting in the printer tray. I've got a fucking stack of them ready to go. But I've got some more. We'll do them next time. I have a lot more. Anyways.
On that gear thing, that's one of the things that most people don't understand as far as when it says 8 to 12 weeks. What you have to understand is John is actually, or SOE in particular, is actually most of the time we're making something that is custom. I get it. A grocery bag is not custom. But a grocery bag with pink, TIFF blue thread, or whatever crazy shit you want, that instantly makes that bag custom. So it takes more time to do. It takes more time and labor to put it together because of the stitching. So if you're butthurt about a timeline, go next time you go buy a Ford truck, tell them you want red stitching inside of it, and see how long it takes you to get that truck, or anything you're going to buy. Tell them you want a special color, or you want a pocket, or you want a pocket over here that's not specific. See how long it takes you.
So Zach Cornwall, on the questions the other day we put up in the closed group for podcast. Said, how much interaction with a customer is too much, i.e. social media posts, marketing, etc. I don't want to flood my customers with too much. We have some emails. I'm on some email lists from some guys in the industry, not building our stuff, but people we do business with. And I get an email from a couple companies literally every single day. And I think it's important to do what you say you're going to do. I don't have a problem getting an email from them all the time. What I notice, though, is it almost gets to a point where it seems like begging. This is the last day of this sale. You better get it before it's gone. And then the next day I get the same fucking email. And then a week later I realize, I'm like, oh, it's the last day. I better see what they have on there. And I click and it's the same fucking 5 products that they're pushing. With that said, like Katanica sends out an email. Typically it seemed like on a Thursday when they launch a new product, I'd see their shorts. I go, Jeff, man, they launched all these new shorts. And then I put them in the cart. And then I get another email Friday. And I'm like, shit, that's in my cart. I better go buy that shit. And then Saturday I'd get an email and I'd finally buy the order. But they would always be out of some size. So we started doing our emails. We launch our emails Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And what we see is Thursday we see a good spike in sales because it shows people what we have. And they know it's going to sell fast. If they see it, they better buy it. And then we see another spike. We see a really big spike on Friday because people are home Friday evening, or they're out at with friends and they're just fucking bullshitting and they're looking through their emails and surfing the site or whatever. But we see a giant spike Friday, and a lot of times the stuff we put in the cart, the stuff that we had, it's gone.
Yeah. But
people are already on the site. So they order other stuff. And then on Saturday when she pushes, and we know it's because of the email, our mail service recommends a time to serve it, so send it out. So if it sends out our email at 5 o'clock, we might have done $2,000, $3,000 on Saturday. But as soon as that email goes out in the next hour, it doubles. It jumps another $2-3 grand. And then by 10 o'clock at night, it's a couple more grand. So I don't know how much is too much. I guess just ask your customers. You can put a survey on there. We put surveys on our stuff, and we get really good replies. And then of course you've got the little cunts that are like, I'm never gonna buy from you. Fuck you guys. Take me off your email list. Well, you dumb motherfucker. Every email we send out has a button that says remove from email list. So if anything, being an asshole, I would just sign you up for fucking 20 gay porn sites or something. I don't do that. I don't have the time to do it, but it's funny nonetheless. What I thought he meant with this question is how much is too much interaction with the customer and how much interaction do you want to do with the customer. So to look at the other side of that, which is what I thought he said, we try to interact with our customer as little as possible, not because we don't want to talk to the customer or help the customer find the solution he's looking for, because I'm very factual. If you ask me a question, most people are like, hey, thank you, I can't believe you got back to me in 5 minutes. But then there's those 1 out of 100 guys that are like, you could have said something else other than just, yes, we have it, or no, we don't. Typically, if a dude's like, do you have blah, 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 I'll go, no, we're out of them, I have this. And that'll be the end of it, not how was your weekend or how was your Christmas. Like, we don't do that shit. I'm fucking like, Jeff's doing the job of fucking 4 people. I'm doing the job of fucking 4 people. Like, we are busy. So the fastest, most factual way we can answer your question is how it gets answered. With that said, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I threw a live video on and just started calling customers and thanking them. While I was on the phone with customers, the orders were continually coming through. After the first phone call, I had 20 more orders. Literally, when I hung the phone up and went to dial the second invoice number, there was 20 new ones. I did that for about 40 minutes. There was over 100 orders just on the time the live video was on, from people seeing us, calling people on Christmas and saying, Merry Christmas, thanks for placing an order Christmas Day. Just wanted to say thank you. How'd you hear about us? And almost hands down, almost everybody I called said, I knew about you from Facebook. I love the way you guys do YouTube videos. I love you not taking any shit. I wish I could do that. We did see a lot of guys not answer, and funny shit is, the dudes that didn't answer, I actually left a voicemail. They called back. Like, they fucking star 69'd it or whatever. They're like, holy shit, I can't believe it's you. So it was cool. I did it last night, got through like 4 or 5 calls, and orders fucking started going through. So, I mean, there's something to that. And the general consensus is nobody calls anymore, and we don't. And I didn't make.
Nobody does.
I have made more phone calls on live video in the last 5 days than literally probably the last 5 years all put together, and it's working. And I know a lot of dudes fucking that don't like us watch this, so a lot of our competitors will start doing this shit. Well, they probably won't because they think it's bullshit.
They're gonna do it.
You think they'll do it?
Yeah, there's gonna be a video.
I forgot my pencil. My pen. How do you decide when a no ETI? Let's see. What does this say? How do you decide
When a no ETA item is being built.
Oh, I thought he said it's bullshit. We already did that one, didn't we?
Yeah, we kind of did. It's just
touch on it. You tell him.
It's just based off of where it at.
He's
where
asking
it is
because
in the
he has
schedule.
no
Yeah,
ETA.
so,
He has no ETA item.
yeah, it depends on if you have a no ETA item. Depending on what it is, what I would do right now is send John a little note saying, "Hey, this is what I've ordered. This is what I ordered. Do you have them in stock?" Just a little note. That's all you need to say, because for the most part, our no ETA stuff is done. It's
well,
unless it's brand new. If you ordered it last week,
backpedal a little bit.
But I'm saying,
because you're gonna have 800 emails, fucking assholes emailing me. For the most part, the no ETA shit is done. There's still some weird shit out there. Just send an email. Ideally, if you're going to email me, find the confirmation order. So when you just reply to the original order and go, "Hey, just checking on this thing. If you think it's been, if you think we missed it, or hey, I saw these and mine hasn't shipped, chances are you have some other little thing on order that it's waiting for." But the easiest way, help us help you, send reply to the confirmation email, so we don't have to. Number one, assholes email me asking about an order and don't tell me what the fuck their order number is. I scroll down, you didn't reply to the confirmation order, so your order's not attached to it. Not only is the order not attached, you made no reference of what the order number is. A lot of times, dipshits will email me from a completely different email address. So we'll look there. We have no order number. We have no confirmation email. We have a different email address. So I got to go chase you around, and it'll be Joe Schmo. And I'll put in Joe Schmo, and I have fucking 55 Joe Schmoes have ordered. So at that point, we'll just reply, hey, we can't find you. Help. And amazingly, when we do that, dudes act like we should stop everything we're doing to figure out who the fuck they are, but they won't give us any pieces of the puzzle. Like, if we're emailing you and going, hey, we can't figure out who you are, we've already invested 15 minutes of our time trying to figure out who you are. So number one, help us help you. Number two, no ETA. A lot of times you'll have a no ETA item for whatever it is, and we'll get an order for 15 pieces, and it'll be a military unit or something. That's your lucky day if you have one of those sitting on order, because we expedite their shit. And when I get something, or Jeff's like, hey, we have this thing, we'll look through and see what other orders we have for it. So while we're building their 15, we'll build the other 10 on order, plus we'll build an extra 12 for inventory. That's kind of how that works. There's really not a real rhyme or reason to a lot of it. And unfortunately for some of you guys, it's not going to be expedited until it just happens. But
especially if you ordered, like I said, Typhon Toxic with Tiffany Blue Thread, there's never going to be a reason for us to expedite that.
And that's kind of that's the new excuse. The new I'm deploying is, I need this thing, or I have a class coming up, and you look at it, and a dude's like, hey, I'm about to go to Syria, I'm about to go to Iraq, I'm about to go wherever, and you look at his shit, and it's cash print. Like we had one of those last year. Bullshit. This is a good one. So many people in their 20s live in the moment and think life doesn't exist after 30 or 40. In the context that many don't prepare for life in their 40s and onward, if you could maybe speak on the importance of having a 5, 10, 20-year plan. I don't know about it that it's even a plan. I don't know that when I was 20, I really believed I was going to live to be 30 or 40. I don't know that I truly believed that. Like, I was into the survival stuff and the prepping and shit. When we moved here, there was a mad rush to get ready for something. We didn't even know what it was, really. We spent a lot of time and money prepping and just having all our shit together. I really believed, and I don't know why, really. Like, Y2K, we were ready in case, like, we were super ready in case something happened Y2K. When we moved here, I really expected economy to collapse or society to collapse or something to happen. That was part of the move to the middle of nowhere kind of thing. And it didn't happen. And I kept hearing Jack Spirko say, you know, if times get tough or even they don't, prepare for the worst, but, you know, live, you know, until that happens. And we started living again. Like, we started growing the business and doing other things and going places that were not survival or gear or prepper related. So I don't know that I really believed I was going to live to be 40 years old or 50 years old. And like I should have just listened to what older folks told me, because I see that now. Like, you will tell a kid now or a young adult now, you will literally tell him something that people told us and we didn't fucking listen to, and you see them shake their head, you see them do what you told them to do, but 2 days later they're back to doing the bullshit. Like, if you would just invest the time in something, like all that time you guys spend watching television or playing video games or whatever the fuck it is, like, you're going, like, I just had fucking Sebastian's, like, some rapper, he's like, yeah, he bought a $18,000, the light's fucking flickering, he bought an $18,000 chain or whatever. I go, you know, most of those dumbasses, like, most of those dudes rent that shit. Like, all those cars you see in those rap videos, that's rented shit. We know the motherfuckers that rent some of the cars to them in the videos. Like, you are looking up to this dude who literally doesn't have shit going on. It's all fucking bullshit social media stuff. That's not to say 1 in a million don't make it, but most of them lose it. Like, why don't, like, create something, I know that's not your question as to, I don't know about a 5-year, 20-year plan. My plan is always just, like, do a little more today than I did yesterday, fucking stay on the same path, get shit done. It's just like the New Year's thing. Everybody's like, I'm going to get up early on New Year's and it's going to be a different week. You see all these memes on Facebook and shit. You know, new year, new me. Bullshit. Like, bull fucking shit. If you knew what your resolution was going to be a week ago, why didn't you start doing it a week ago? I don't know. What do you got?
I mean, I don't know. It's very hard to convince people that are younger of that plan. Nobody really gets it until they get
it's too
into
late.
a family or it's too late. I would say for my military people out there, put your max in your TSP. If you want to retire from the military a millionaire, max out your TSP and you're going to be a millionaire. That 2% that you're putting in there, you don't miss it anyways, just let it go. And as you get promoted, you just keep adding percentage points. You're not going to miss the money, but at the end of your 20 years, guaranteed right now, the U.S. military is making millionaires. They're going to retire with $1 million in that TSP account. So, that's the big thing, is saving money. I saw something the other day that I thought was pretty cool, and it would be really easy for almost anybody, and that was a dollar for the day. So, you know, first day of the month you save $1. Second day of the month you save $2. Third day of the month you save it's $1 for the first day, and then whatever you've saved. So on the second day you're doing 2, on the third day you're doing 6, all the way up to the end of the month, and then every month you just start over. Now it'll be about $1,500, just depending on how long the month is. But if you look at it by the day, if you just look at it by the day, like if I say, oh my God, it's the 20th, I got to put in money to this. It's only $20. Now I know that's a lot of money for some people, but it's still only $20.
You guys are drinking that. You're doing that in coffee. You're doing that in beer. You're doing that in whatever.
If you could put that away, you know, starting now at a younger age, you'll see again, even just cash deposits. If you do it that way, you will be a millionaire by the time you're in your 50s. If you just do it. So it's just about saving money and using your time wisely. When we're young, we don't use our time very well.
With that, there's apps too. So if you don't have a savings plan, or you're not in the military where they're socking money away that you can match in a 401k or something, there are apps for your phone. When you go and buy whatever, for every dollar you spend, it saves 10 cents and transfers it to another account. Or when you the commercial is, she goes and buys some fucking smoothie or something, and every time she does it, it puts $2 in her other savings account. You can take that money and invest it into other things. You can do mutual. I mean, there's all kinds of shit you can do. So another good one too, like young people, you're chasing pussy, you're not going to have that pussy later. Like, it's not. I saw a dude send an email or a meme or something I saw that said a lot of dudes lost a lot of money chasing pussy. But no dudes ever lost any pussy chasing money. Like, the
That's
money,
true.
the pussy will come. You will have, like, when your shit is together, you will attract the type of woman you want. Maybe you won't. I mean, maybe you want some crazy pussy. Crazy pussy's good pussy. But I am lacking a lot of stuff over crazy pussy. Jeff can attest to that over the years. Just like I said in a podcast a couple weeks ago, or whenever a couple back, you know, if I had invested the time I spent just wasting trying to fuck chicks, if I had to put just half that time into fucking business or anything
Yeah.
for that matter, I mean, imagine where we would be right now. Ed says, what usually inspires the new pouch designs you bring out?
Something crazy like, will a hot dog fit in this?
Okay, so the hot dog pouch, usually it's a need, or we see a market trend for it, and we're like, that's what they got? Like, that's fucking retarded. I just saw one, there's a company doing a pouch, and I saw that it said patent pending on it. It came up in my Facebook feeds. Patent pending, and it's for the little computer that CAS guys use for TAC-P and shit, right? There's some program called Kill Switch, and it goes on an iPad or a smartphone, and the Apache pilots and Call for Fire dudes, 9-line guys and shit are using this program. So he's using this hashtag Kill Switch. Never heard of the company. What's he building? He's building our fucking NSW admin. It legitimately is our NSW admin stomps this other product. His product is our NSW admin blank that has a clear window in it, which our NSW did for the seals when we first did it. We had a clear window so you could put your 10 most wanted in there or whatever, your playing cards and shit. And it has a GPS, and ours holds a flat. His doesn't hold shit. It has a place where you can Velcro in a smart pad. And he's like, patent pending. What the fuck did you, what did you apply to for a patent on? Like, there's 100 companies making that. So kind of it's just, a lot of our stuff is driven by fucking with industry dudes, which really is good for them, because when it happens, other companies come out and out that, like, we won't ever go, hey, it's ABC, because we will drive more traffic to those companies than they could ever get themselves. But the other side will drive traffic. Like, their supporters will come out and go, man, fuck, Will has copied this guy's shit. Well, in reality, we've been building that product since San Diego, like 100%. So we do it kind of to fuck with them, because I have fun fucking with them. It's like rap, man. When Tupac and Biggie were beefing, like, that was the best thing for the rap industry ever. And that's kind of how our industry, I think that works for every industry. If somebody comes out talking shit about me, it makes me hot, and it spurs me. You're going to see a big spike in our presence and just productivity when some shit like that happens. But it's also good for the other company too. Unfortunately, a lot of them are little bitches, and they just like give up. They tuck their tail and they run away. Whereas if they would just fucking keep building and keep building and keep building, it would be good for them, because it would spur their growth also. Now, with that said, like Jeff started, like, real products, there's a need for it. We'll see companies, building the shit, and we're like, man, that looks like ass, we can do this better. Or the end user will come to us for the product and go, hey, I need ABC, and we'll build it up and then bring it to market. Or like the hot dog pouch thing. The hot dog pouch was really, it started as a 99-cent pencil pouch from Walmart. It was sitting on my desk, and one of our ladies, we cooked lunch for everybody, and we had hot dogs that day. One of the ladies took the pouch and put the hot dog in it. It was sitting on my desk as a joke. I snapped a photo of it and put it on Facebook. 3 years go by, and it comes up as a memory, and I just share the pouch. Hot dog pouch, haha. The next day, dudes are on there talking shit about how we can't ship product, but we're building hot dog pouches and talking all this shit. So I'm like, okay, motherfucker, we'll run a hot dog pouch sale just as a joke. Rather than building whatever the fuck it is, because he had an order number. Whatever it is, your order's now at the back of the list for talking shit. And we're going to build a hot dog pouch. So we do a hot dog pouch sale. And what is that? You get this special Wazoo Fandangle hot dog pouch, but you have to buy $50 worth of real order to get it. So now we have like 300 dudes want this fucking pouch, 300 dudes go and spend $50 or more to get the free pouch. That's how the hot dog pouch came to be. It was some dude talking shit, and as a fuck you to him, we just did it and had to fucking build 300 of them.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's just whatever the funny shit is. Dudes, you'll hear little shit talkers going, man, they're busy running around building pencil pouches or building hot dog pouches or taco pouches or ding dong pouches, whatever it is. We do that just because people like we always make the pouch viable. Like, it always has another use to it. Like the rat trap pouch. We had some dudes in one of our close groups talking shit and screenshotting shit. We had a rat. So we did a rat catcher sale. And what that was is you got the pouch, $50 and above. We burned the group down. The group was dead. We killed the whole group. And we made this rat catcher pouch. And then we ordered fucking 500 rat traps. Legit rat traps. The pouch, we shipped it out with a rat trap. So for survival guys, rat traps are awesome. You can screw them to a tree, catch squirrels, whatever. But the reality is the pouch worked perfectly as a large cell phone pouch with an OtterBox case on it.
Yep.
Holds the big new iPhone, holds the big new Note 8s, 9s. Guys used them for medical. It holds a fucking awesome little belt-mounted medical pouch. So they always have a real use. So I don't know if we really went the direction you were hoping we'd go, but that's parts of it. Steven says, I know I'll get raked over the coals for this question. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. I've never listened to the podcast. I don't know what the fuck he asked. Oh, how do I tune into the podcast? That was him. They already answered him. If you're listening to the podcast, you know how to turn into the podcast. Do you currently listen to any podcasts?
Yeah, I listen to it, but I mean, right now I'm listening to Joe Rogan. I love Joe Rogan's stuff because he's not judgmental right off the bat. So like he wants to hear what's going on as far as
we got water coming down here. That's what I keep hearing. It's inside, not outside.
Whatever the person has to say before he's judgmental. I listen to that. I listen to.
Does Rogan ever call him out and go, "You're full of shit"?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it's not like he'll call somebody out and say you're full of shit, but he'll be like, you can tell by his line of questioning that he doesn't agree with what the person's saying, but he never kind of like slams anybody on the podcast, which is, I think, the reason why he's had so many different types of people on the podcast, because you're going to get to do your say. He's going to ask you the hard questions. But he's not gonna. It's not like going on CNN where everybody's calling you an asshole.
No pitchforks.
Yeah, there's no pitchforks or any of that. And I do believe that when Joe decides to put somebody on the podcast, like when he decides he's gonna have, I don't know, whatever, Smuckatelli on the podcast, I think at that point Joe has already decided he kind of wants to hear what that person has to say and get that.
I wonder how much say he actually has on who's coming on the podcast.
All of it.
He knows all of it ahead of time.
It's his podcast. He's not associated with any.
But I mean, does he have a screener? Or obviously he has somebody that fact checks and
I'm sure
here's
he does.
Your 5 best. Which one?
I'm sure he does. But what it sounds like to me that he just goes, I want to talk to Rocco Mato or whatever, and then they contact the guy and see if they want to come on the podcast. So yeah, I think he has final say in all that podcast stuff.
What else? What other ones?
I don't. Off the top of my head, I listened to that. What's that Armageddon one? Let's see what I can tell you real quick. Right now, I could do if I had the resources that Joe Rogan had. I could tell you what my podcasts were. Library. I listened to the History of World War II podcast. I have some. Believe it or not, I listen to Fresh Air.
What's Fresh Air?
It's a NPR. It's an NPR podcast. I also listen to Stuff They Don't Want You to Know. It's a great podcast. That is a great podcast. I listen to Ridiculous History. Joe Rogan, obviously. Sawbones, and then Ben Shapiro.
So mine are the MFCEO podcast, Sean Whalen, and Lore. Lore is just a nice change. I haven't listened to it in a long time. There's a bunch of them backed up that I haven't listened to, but mostly the MFCEO podcast and Sean Whalen. And believe it or not, like I go back and listen to our podcast now because like a lot of times I don't remember what the fuck they said.
Yeah,
and it'll spur some other thing. I'm a tech idiot. That's part of the other one. You have an iPhone rant. This is just me asking this dude who asked. like, dudes will ask questions, and I'll ask more questions because I want to know how to answer your question.
Yeah.
How do I listen to the podcast? Well, that depends. Do you have an iPhone or do you have an Android phone? Like, it starts from there. Damn, that's what a lot of this is. Found them. Jesus, that whole fucking page.
How to get on the podcast.
Yeah, it's just how to get on the podcast.
Just contact my people, and then when you get a hold of my people, they'll talk to your people, and then we can get you on the podcast.
Too. Okay, so we didn't have as many real fucking...
Way to go, John. It's not going to be as long as we thought.
They were still asking questions today on that fucking thread from last week. What's coming up? What should I be what's coming up for 2019? What should I be saving for? The reality is we don't fucking know. Like, we're building...
Yeah.
I built some bolt bags this weekend just to get sequencing stuff done. We do have some new shit that we're working on. We don't ever know what's coming out. Like, we might go, hey, I've got this thing and we're going to do 100 of them next week. But come fucking tomorrow, even before next week, something else happens and we're running in another direction. So
John's kind of like Prince.
I'll have a great thing. We'll build it, and I'll just lose fucking interest in it.
Yeah, John's kind of like Prince. He's got, a lot of people don't know this, but by the time Prince was 25 years old, he had written enough music to never have to write music again. It was all just this music that was in his, that he just had. It had already been written. It was ready to go. That's why a lot of if you really pay attention to who wrote a lot of songs across the industry, Prince wrote a lot of songs for a lot of people, and John's the same way. He's got all these bag designs and all these things that he's already thought of, and they're just sitting in the locker waiting to be dusted off and brought out and him to sew them, just down in his head somewhere. So a lot of times he'll just see something like, I don't know, fucking can of Vienna sausages and go, hey, wait a minute, what about that pouch that I had that was going to hold 9 hand grenades? And then he'll turn it into something else. So it just depends. It depends on what's spurring the moment. Or, a lot of times you'll get a guy that'll come in here and that's what he'll do. He'll be like, I need a pouch that'll hold a whole thing of Orville popcorn. And then John's like, oh, I already know what I'm going to use because we used to make one that held something else. So it's pretty cool how much pouch stuff he has in his head. And what's even more impressive, if you really want impressive, you should see when he picks up a bag. So, I don't know. We'll say I'll just say the day pack, right? It's not really good pick because we just started doing those. But if you bring in something that we made in Oceanside that we don't make here anymore, and John looks at it, he'll be able to tell you the dimensions and the cut list from his head, which is crazy because you don't really know how much goes into. How many layers and how much shit goes into like a mag pouch. It sounds easy, but to have all those measurements and all that shit in your head, it's fucking crazy. I don't know how he does it.
I can look at a lot of that shit too. Like, I can see somebody sewing something. My sewing machine sits like the school teacher kind of. All the sewers face me. I'm on the other side of the building, but I can see them. And I'll see somebody sewing something, and I'll get up and go over there and go, that piece of webbing that you're making 25 of right now is a 1/4 inch too short. And they're like, what? It's a 1/4 inch too short. And we'll measure it, and they're a fucking 1/4 inch too short because whoever did the machine cuts on it didn't calibrate it or whatever. I can see that shit. It's like I can fucking smell it a mile away.
And then I'll want to measure something. So he does this to me all the time. I'll want to measure something because we have certain things that are just based off of length. And then so he's got a ruler in his bay, and so I'll sneak in there and measure it because I need to know that it's actually 24 by 30. And then he'll see me come out of the bay and he'll be like, well, if you just count the 2 stitches on the left and the 4 down the row and by the 7, you'll know exactly what size this is. And I'm like, I don't even know what he was just talking about. So it's crazy. It's crazy the stuff that's inside his head when it comes to that kind of, like, I can hold stuff up, like, just crack it open like that, and he'll be able to tell you what the dimensions are and all that shit. And I'm like, I'll even measure it before. It's just crazy.
But that's because that's mine. I mean, that's what
I get it.
What I do. If you went to a dude that designs tires, he could tell you that the XYZ tire has 14 plies.
Yeah.
We'd have to look it up. He has that shit in his head because it's what he fucking did.
You got a lot of it.
Which is why losing the telemetry to the moon was bullshit. Somebody
No, I'll
knew
bet
that
there's.
shit.
I'll bet there's some retired
That's what I'm saying.
female
How about the
mathematicians that know exactly.
how about the dude that died, and they would go down in his, they go to clean his house out, right, and they go down in his basement, and he has the telemetry computers and the computers and the supercomputers that are like the size of this room in his basement. Not only that, they couldn't get them in the basement. They built the fucking basement around these computers, and all of the telemetry tapes have all of a sudden been found in dude's basement, like 6 months, 8 months ago.
Really? Well, I can see that because I can see when you think about
Dude, it takes a crane.
Yeah, but I
to
still
move these computers.
I still see that because you got guys like.
But the crazy shit, like, they didn't just cut in the side of a hill, build a basement, and he's out in the woods. This is like downtown New York.
But I guarantee you this is how it happened because it's happened with us before. I guarantee you, NASA was like, somebody in NASA was like, what is all this bullshit in this room? It all fits on a calculator now. Why do we have this thing in here? We're just going to scrap it. And somebody in there went, hey,
can I have it?
Can I have it? And they're like, if you get it out of here in the next 48 hours, you can have it. And so that motherfucker took that thing apart and rebuilt it in his... Because
that's what happened.
That's what happened. That's what people do. People are... I mean, I've done that in my lifetime 1,000 times where somebody was like, either come get this or I'm throwing it away. Travis Mitchell. I even had to get it out of the dumpster, Travis. Thanks a lot.
On that note, it's really hard, like, doing nice shit for people and giving shit away.
Oh yeah,
like it's insane. Like, I have free whatever. They want to ask $25. It's free, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's free.
You're joining the cult. You're already saving $8. It's a fucking haircut.
Josh Lee. I'm sure he didn't make this, but he said this once, and it's always stuck in my brain: is never put something on the curb that says free. Always put a price on it, and when you go out there, it'll be gone.
It'll be stolen.
It'll taken it.
Shannon asks if it was Zombieland.
Zombieland.
What is the one good you and Skully couldn't live without? Oh, I know, Jen. You looked right at it.
It's right
target indicator glance.
It's right here. I would definitely have to go take down a
Diet Pepsi,
a factory somewhere to make this.
I don't know that I have one, but I would just drive around with Jeff in the search for Pepsi and just find shit that I also liked. Like,
yeah, I guarantee we'd be bringing all kinds of crazy shit back to the compound.
Like if we had an end of the world, after the end of the world story, and we wrote it into a book, our story would just be boring for you guys because it would just be me and Jeff scavenging.
Yeah,
I mean there'd be probably some killing in defense along the way, and
I would have my M1 Abrams, that's for sure.
You know, you guys would be talking. You would read it 100 years from now, and we would be like, I'm not even going to compare us. Like, never mind. I'm just going to fucking open a whole can. No, it wouldn't be boring.
It would just be boring. I can live without Diet Pepsi.
I would say that I'm not so much opposed to a lot of the shit that had happened. I know all of your products are amazing, but what is it about your shotgun cards that make people lose their shit? William Burnett. What do you think it is?
Does anybody, I mean...
Yeah, it happens every couple of weeks still.
No, I was going to say, does anybody, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is. You know what I think? It's a little bit of ass hurt, and like it's hard to when you see well, I'll tell you what it is. It's probably
they're too cheap. The price point's too low.
It's probably either the price point's too low or I mean, I don't know. You
got a lot of I think it's a lot of so a shotgun is kind of your entry weapon.
Yeah.
Not entry, but beginner, like your beginner. You're going to be a survivalist. A lot of dudes who call themselves survivalists or preppers, they're diverting money when really they should be building their lives and stuff. They're taking all of their money and putting it into fucking whatever. And a lot of them, unfortunately, are bare minimum type of people. They're working a job they hate at minimum wage. They're the checker or the front dude at Walmart. They're buying rather than saving it. I am one of these guys. I am guilty of what I'm talking about myself.
I am too.
I want a Ford Mustang.
So
every Thursday when the Auto Trader would come out, I would go buy all the Auto Traders at 75 cents, $1 a piece or whatever. I'd buy 85 and older, I'd buy 86 and newer, I'd buy import. Maybe I won't end up with a Mustang. Maybe I'll get a European car, so I'd buy the European one. I'd buy the boat trade. I would literally spend $20 every week, every time Auto Traders would come out and just sit and look. I could tell you anything about any car and market value and shit because of the Auto Traders. But rather than just saving the money to buy the Mustang or save enough money to get somebody to give me the Mustang and let me make payments or something, I was never patient. And that's the big thing, going back to what I would tell kids on a 5-year, 10-year, 20-year plan. Just fucking patience. Like, everything you do now is the structure and the base of what you're going to do later, and you don't know what that's necessarily going to be. So the biggest thing is just, that's back to the shotgun cards. The shotgun, because these guys are buying like Mosin Nagant, so they buy shotguns. Now they want to bedazzle their shotgun. They want to glue on their little sequins and shit, and that's our fucking shotgun card. Is it functional? Of course it's fucking functional. It's one of the best ones out there. It's very, very low profile. There's a bunch of other shit out there for $50, $65, plastic, machined aluminum, all kinds of stuff. Our shotgun card is very, very minimal and works fucking great. And we produce a fucking ton of them. Every week we are running shotgun cards. We have a bucket that has 120 each in every color, every version. And when it's low, we run another 120 of them. Yeah. And we're running them every couple days. There's shotgun cards on the floor. And it's never a dude who has ordered a shotgun card and it's been 2 or 3 days. It's never, I mean, it's always a dude where it's been 2 or 3 days. It's never a dude ordered and then has waited like a week and like, or 2 weeks or 3 weeks and like, what the fuck? They literally lose their fucking mind immediately, and it's always like on a weekend. Why don't I have tracking? Well, you little fuck, because you didn't come in here and ship it yourself. It's fucking Sunday. Or they'll buy it. Our website's pretty good. Like, it's very, very modern. It's up to date. It tells you the prices. And the crazy shit is, a lot of these dudes are like, what the fuck? This order's only $25 and you charge me $9 shipping. First of all, we didn't charge you $9 shipping, dumbass.
Yeah. We are not the post office.
Yeah, we're not the post office. Your order wasn't $9. You charged me $9 priority shipping. It hasn't shipped. It's Sunday. You ordered it Saturday night. Not only that, you knew what the shipping price was before you clicked the button to accept it, before you input your shit. Like, it tells you the price before you do all that shit. It's not a fucking secret. You didn't accidentally, oh shit, I didn't mean to order that. You had to push 5 or 6 buttons and confirm to make that happen. And the other thing is, and that's what I'll tell them, I'm like, well, order 5 more of them and it'll ride for free. Like, that's the cost of the box. They give us the box. You know, that's in the price. That's insurance. That's shipping. It gets to your house in 2 to 3 days. And while we're complaining about, oh my God, it took 2 to 3 days, that's the other side of the fucking United States. It wasn't even 100 years ago. Motherfuckers were dying
to get
delivering mail that took 3, 4, 5 weeks. And motherfuckers were dying and getting killed over it. So it's pretty fucking amazing that for $9, is it worth for $9? I can't even drive to fucking Nashville from here for $9. It costs me more, and that's not even my time. That's just fuel. I cannot drive there for $9. It's pretty fucking amazing. So I don't know what it is with the shotgun card. I think it's just that the shotgun card stands out more because they act as big an asshole as other dudes. It just
a shotgun card.
It's just a $25 item, so it's more.
The cool thing about going with the Velcro back shotgun card versus some of the other options that are out there. So like, if you've got I think they used to call them side saddles and shit, where you put them on where they're Velcroed on and all that, or you have the aluminum ones
pieces that go through the receiver.
That go through the receiver. Those are one and dones. So if you're gunning with if you've got to really fight with a shotgun, what you're carrying on the shotgun, it's one and done. You could have 100 shotgun cards in just a dump pouch full of ammo. That fucking card's empty, you throw another fucking card on there. So you can keep adding ammo to what you're actually carrying so you can feed from the fight instead of having to dig around in your pocket. So that's the beautiful thing about the shotgun cards. And, they're relatively cheap, so you could, use them once and throw them on the ground and keep fighting. But it's much better to have a source to resupply that where you're fighting from, versus
not only that, we
all that aluminum shit.
We make opposing Velcro cards that go on your belt or on Molly gear, on pals, horizontal or vertical. So you could have another shotgun card. You have one on the side of the gun, and then you have one on your belt, vertical or horizontal, whatever you want. And you can rip it off of here. You rip this one off, put it back on the gun, put the other one if you have time, lull in the fight, whatever, between, fucking your turn up on the line, whatever it is, you can replenish that way. Trevor, John, I would love you guys to do more rant videos, and yes, please explain why people lose their minds over the smallest things like belt pouches and shotgun cards. That's another dude.
It's just how you've been conditioned. So the market has been conditioning everybody to think that they can have it their way. That's why, you get these people that are whining over the stupidest shit, because they have been told their whole lives that that's all they have to do is whine a little bit.
Yep.
And then they're going to get something for free, or they're going to get some sort of special treatment. The truth of the matter is, we're no more important than anybody else. So for you to fucking jump up and down and stomp your feet because I don't know, your shotgun card didn't ship out on Saturday, that just shows what a little bitch you are.
It's corporate policy. So
yeah, it's corporate policy.
It's big box store. Who came out with the customer's always right? It was Woolworths, I think, came out originally and said that. Customer's always right. So you can see it any day of the week. Go to Best Buy, go to Walmart. Everybody's been in a restaurant where
definitely at Walmart you could go see it right now.
Everybody's been in a restaurant where you see some dude being an asshole to his server because his steak wasn't right, or his hamburger, or you forgot this or whatever. It's never at the beginning. It's always after the meal because they're trying to get a free meal because they've been conditioned. They get that free meal. The louder you are, the more of an asshole you are, the faster they're going to give you what you want. So they do that. And corporate policy is to appease the customer. Diffuse the situation so the other customers don't see it happen. Give him something to shut him up, i.e., even though you ate your whole meal, we're going to refund your meal and give you free dessert. And then please come back and fucking be a rude asshole to our staff again. Here's a voucher, so we're going to give you half off your next meal. And that's been corporate policy. Why is that? Because the guy that fucking writes those policies, the CEO, whoever it is, it's because he doesn't have to, and probably never has in his life, ever dealt with those people. He's never been the person out there who's being ridiculed or fucking screamed or yelled at. He's never been the person who's been in a physical altercation or the possibility of being in a physical altercation because of that type of person. Their policy is just bottom line. Shut them up. We don't want any bad press. And we've just kind of flipped that switch. Like, we'll take bad press. Like, I don't have any secrets. Jeff, there's no fucking secrets. Like, the worst shit you can say about me, we came out, I fucking told you. It's on video of me telling it. Like, all these dudes that come up with this felon or fucking whatever, whatever they have to say. Like, you know that because I put that out there. Whoever told you heard it because it originated from me. I put the fucking story out. We don't have anything to hide from. So when somebody's screaming and yelling, every company has those people. A lot of them are the exact same people. You think any of these big gun companies don't have them, or any of the Magpul? Like, I know for a fact they do, because we know people in all those companies. Yep. They have them. And like the CEO of fucking Magpul. I'm standing at fucking SHOT Show. He's like, God, I wish I could do what you do. I wish I could say what you... Like, all those dudes, constantly. Hey, man, I wish we could do what you do. Ha, ha, ha. You can. Stop being a fucking pussy and do what we do. Nothing... What are they going to do? Go buy fucking... somewhere else? I mean, let them go buy it somewhere else. Fucking all that does is free your time up. So that's the deal with it. That's all of these. That's all there. You got anything else?
Magpul.
It's a rainy day.
It is a rainy day.
Energy level's a little low.
And you said there's water in here.
There is water dripping. That water I heard dripping, because usually it's outside. When you're in the other bathroom on the way over on the sides, and you hear it, and you go look the wall, it's all dry. It's the drip sill on the outside dripping on the gravel. That is not the case down here. Down here, that drip you see dripping right there is actually physical drips of water I hear dripping into a puddle.
Great.
So, that will have to be addressed at some point.
You don't want the bunker filling up with water.
Well, it won't. I mean, we have
It does
drains.
have a drain,
luckily.
but still.
It's just the humidity issue. All right.
All right. I think we're good.
Turn that shit off. How the fuck do you turn this off?